It's more than a feeling, it's all things Mia. I'm Mia Macy, and this is my first video blog for y'all. And I thought I'd kick it off with something kind of important. And it's just a layman's kind of way to explain transgender. It's the way you can explain it to all your friends, and, well, you can gather around the kids because I make it pretty G-rated, if you want to go that way. This is just going to be an extension, a weekly blog of all things Mia that we do on Swirl TV and Swirl Radio. I just thought I'd do a personal one, and I thought I'd kick it off today with something just really easy. And what I've been doing at speaking engagements is explaining this, and I found a way to do it, I think, the easiest way. So with that, I don't have a chalkboard, I have a white wall, so we're going to let our imaginations go crazy here. Okay. So imagine a slot machine with 3 categories. Okay, so in the first category, you have sex. The next one, sexual orientation, and then the next spindle, you have gender. Okay, gender identity is what I'll be calling it. Excuse me, I know I'll get blasted by some science people, but so just for simple terms, we have sex, sexual orientation, and gender identity. Now, going back in the womb, we are all innately female. Now, what does that mean? Well, it just takes the right hormones and the right infusion while you're in the womb to become male. But we all start off as female. Yeah. Lo and behold. So, and if you're driving or if you're at work or whatever, don't try this. But when you're in the privacy, you can actually see on the bottom male scrotum, there is a line. That line on the bottom of your scrotum is where it fused together in the womb. Yep. Science. Wow. It's amazing how that happens. Okay, so now in this first category, you have sex. That's when you're born and the doctor looks at you and goes, male, female, or intersexed. Okay, so that's your first category. Your next one is sexual orientation. That's when you grow up and you go, I really like boys, or I really like girls. That's who you're attracted to. That's sexual orientation. That's not nothing to do with sex. That's sexual orientation. Then we have gender identity. You can also throw in gender/gender identity, but gender identity is developed in the wiring of the brain. When you're in that womb, with the right amount of hormones that get flushed into the system, innately female, innately male, well, what happens is, or also intersex, excuse me, but what happens is the wiring of the brain, when you're in that little incubator, you get the right influxes, and that's how your brain is wired. So, with that said, you have a person. They're born, doctor holds them up and says female, characteristics of biological female. Sexual orientation, she likes men. Yep, she's born, she likes men. But her gender identity, how she's wired, how she was wired in the womb, well, that is male. So that's how, in California, you got a woman who identifies as a male, likes men, and got pregnant. The pregnant man. Okay, so what's great about this slot machine is you can pull that handle, bing, 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 and it comes across in any way. Those don't align for the same for everyone. They're completely different for everyone. Now you can throw more wheels on the table to explain it, but that's how it happens. Transgender is simply a biological setup when you're in the womb. There's going to be people that identify and say gender and different things and characteristics of environment and different things like that. Well, you can go and you can expand on the idea and the notion. But for the simplest term and the simplest way, that's how it works. It's a slot machine when you're in the womb. It involves chemicals, environment, all the little stuff that goes into the package that makes us who we are. So, for my first blog, my first little video, that's my class for today. Hopefully I simplified the idea in explaining transgender. Now, the second part of that is, don't go up and ask people about that. If they're privately your friend, that's okay. But take the time, use the right pronouns, and ask somebody and talk to them privately. It's, well, how we are wired. It's all things Mia. I'm Mia Macy, and you enjoy yourself, and I will catch me next week, I hope. Thanks.